come to speak of the last time Minsk stood watch? The snoring, it was Boo.
So it seems, but game's not over yet. New cards
Of course, my friend. Or are we not friends? Then you have a sword at your side and a hamster at hand, whenever you need them. Unless I die, or you die, or you do anything at all to upset Boo. Now, does Boo see a question in your eye, or just a parasite poking through? Well, Boo, explain yourself. Clear enough? Can you not? Do you not see his noble bearing? The deep wells of wisdom that are his eyes? Boo speaks of much. Perhaps one day, you will be ready to listen. Ah! You speak of Minsk's misshapen skull? It is true. I once suffered a most heroic head wound. Before Boo, I was a typical berserker of Rashomon. Duty-bound and full of my own seriousness. The problem with one so gazing of their navel, however, they are easily ambushed. Brigands split my skull like a sodden wineskin. It was as I recovered that Boo first appeared. He told me that I had felt the great poking finger of justice, marking Minsk as its champion and Boo as my guide. As for the headache, well, justice cannot always afford to be gentle. Do not be ridiculous. If any of us is chosen by the gods, it is obviously Boo. Now, shall we away? My boots crave the crunch of unvirtuous nethers. So dark an alliance sealed with Sentish contracts, cultish vows, and a dragon's shining hoard. You think Minsk could forget? You are correct. I have no idea what any of that was about. But we shall simply... Boo! Why do you gnaw at my soft parts? I am trying to... Once again, in smaller words? I see. This truth you seek. Boo believes that Minsk is knowing more than Minsk knows. But it is a difficult thing. There are memories of this time that Minsk does not remember. And Boo suggests that, just as he helps with tricksome itches in awkward places, you must reach what Minsk cannot. The parasite. You can use it to tickle free whatever truth you seek.
At first, there is nothing. His mind is empty as a still expanse of open country. But then... Your face, the Stone Lord's face, mirrored in bloodied steel. In the heat of burning buildings, you hold your blade high above pale, frightened faces.
No, that is not right. I slew only monsters. The voice said that they were monsters.
A whisper. The Absolute's voice, twisting the petty guild thieves before you into snarling, savage beasts, feeding on the weak of your city.
The guild. The Stone Lord hunted them, peeled away their rotten ranks one by one to lay bare their corrupt heart. 9 fingers keen. That is what the Absolute bought Black Zentish Steel to do. To kill the Guildmaster. Until Minsk arrives, the battle has not even begun. Whatever strangeness you believe you saw, there is only one simple truth in Minsk's mind. The cult is evil, the guild is evil, and Minsk fights evil. If you cannot believe his words, then watch his doings. We will foil the Zentish plot, and then we will show 9 fingers the 5 fingers of Minsk! Yes? Yes? Yes. A little rest to brush the road from Boo's fur, and then back to our adventuring. Well, the mind of Minsk is a simple place. Of what strangeness do you speak?
The memories resurface, a lifetime of battles blurring into one. A single constant is Minsk, launching into the fray no matter the foe, be they god, monster, or man. It seems just the barest glimpse of what the man before you has seen and done, but enough to know that he has no right to still be alive.
Ah, wait! That look in your eye. I know exactly what visions of Minsk you have seen to cause you such wonder. My pants. Thrice laced, in the Rashomar style, so that a berserker might split skulls without fear of splitting breeches, too. They are fiendishly complex, but fear not for Minsk. With training, he has learned to master the many little knots. Well, as have you, no? Do not forget that when you gaze into Minsk, Minsk also gazes into you. We both fight evil, wherever it is found. The who and where are less important than the hamsters you meet along the way. On this matter of sharing memories, I see no reason for us to worry at one another's worms. If there is more we wish to know, we can simply ask, no? Is it power? True, it has made Minsk strong. Boo can scarcely get comfortable, so firm has my physique grown. But what does the parasite take in return? It is a horror wrapped in honey. Stay your sweet tooth, says Boo. As you wish, but quietly. It is listening. On this matter, I have held small counsel with Boo. If the worm is lodged within our skulls, should it not be possible to simply squeeze like so? Until something pops? Out! Ah! Pay that noise no mind. Boo has not feasted on evil's flesh in some time, and it has set his gut to bubbling. None at all. Though Boo is tiny. Perhaps he could just crawl into our ears and... Ah, you are right, Boo. A ridiculous notion. It would be far too dark to see. There is more than a little to know, I think. I am huge. Ah, you come in search of stories. It is not yet time to tuck Boo in for the night, but very well. After our adventurings with the Ballspawn, Boo had had his fill of godly flesh. So, we returned to Baldur's Gate for a time. After all, in every city there is a sweaty underbelly, crying out for a virtuous scrubbing. None better to wield a brush than Minsk and Boo. Perhaps we rubbed some villain's rump a little too raw. This Minsk does not know. One moment we stood in the city slums, the next, ambush! Then Minsk and Boo woke on the wide, with stone dust in sensitive places. If you wish to know the answer to that, ask a statue. For Minsk, those years passed as quick as a hiccup. It was long ago, then it is now. I do not like these metal men on the streets, or the villains who hide behind them. But the new world is not so different to the old one. The city still clings to the hill. The sea still stretches on forever. And the stench of evil still makes Boo wish for a tiny peg on his nose. As long as that stench remains, no matter how old or young the world is, Minsk and Boo will not rest. Countless tales are told of Boo and Minsk. Many of them are so outlandish that even I do not know if they are true. Did Minsk bravely fend off the seductive wiles of a succubus in the cloisters of Candlekeep? Maybe. Did he take a bath in the river Styx and temporarily forget himself? I do not remember. Did he travel with a spawn of the god of murder, who warred against his evil brethren and battled triumphantly at the throne of Baal itself? Of course! It was a splendid adventure. The bards sing of fallen gods and mighty battles, but that is a small part of any saga. They do not sing of the times in between, when Saravak's butt had been kicked so hard that we thought he would never return. We settled in Baldur's Gate for a while. Gorian's Ward, Imoen, Jahira, Minsk, Boo, and Dinah here. My witch. She hated the city at first. Too busy, she said. Too noisy. Too many people. She complained of the smell. Although she complained of Boo's smell too, and he smells of fresh honey cakes, so Minsk believes her nose was confused. Then, one day, we walked past a shop full of wonders. Tiny magics fizzed in the air, and wizards from every corner of the world bickered and bartered. Sorcery's sundries. Dinah here fell in love. Dragged poor Minsk there every day, and made him stand watch while she browsed the shelves. Minsk frowned and complained. He felt more like a babysitter than a berserker. But how Dinah here smiled. Not long after, Minsk and Boo were captured, And Dainehir was dead. I would gladly be a babysitter again to see her smile. That is what I remember. More than any battles against Baal and his spawn. Yes, Boo. I know you miss her too. Boo says the tadpole thrives on her misery. To think dark thoughts is only to feed the darkness. It pleases Minsk more to sour its stomach with good thoughts, or better yet, not to think at all. With this in mind, Minsk thinks he has gathered enough fluff from gazing at his navel for the moment, no? Minsk shall be your shadow, as Boo is his. You will grow to like Jahira's incense in time. Like chewing herbs and soap, yeah? Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures.